Welcome back to News 3 Today at 11. 35 years, more than 2,000 loans and counting. This year, the Small Business Assistance Corporation is celebrating a milestone, and they are inviting you to join them. Victoria Saxton, SBAC President and CEO, and Wendy Jeffers, Director of Lending, join us now with more. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, first off, congratulations on 35 years. What a milestone. So let's take our viewers back to the beginning and tell us a little bit about the history of the organization, how it started and why.
Absolutely. So the city of Savannah was actually the leading point for the SBAC's existence. There was a lot of minority businesses that weren't getting access to capital. The banks were at a position where they could not fund them. And so the city actually came together with a grant that they had through the CDBG program, and then offered an opportunity for a Segway or a mission lender to actually come in and support those minority businesses. And since then, we've been rooted. That's pretty much been our mission, is to help underserved businesses to thrive and to grow in the communities. And we've just evolved ever since then. And
of course, more than 3 decades is a big deal. So let's talk about some of the accomplishments over this time. You can't get all of them in, but I'm sure you can get a few.
That's right. So we try to stay small enough to be nimble and to adapt. I think on a broader spectrum, the accomplishments would be the fact that we have been able to institute really quick loan programs for storm recovery, COVID recovery, a trucking loan program, things like that. And so we meet the need quickly, but we also, the numbers are also the game as well. Yeah. So on our numbers side, we've been growing exponentially year over year, especially over the past 2 or 3 years, in terms of the number of loans that we put on the street, the number of jobs that we help to create or retain, and the number of small businesses that we help that would otherwise not have access to capital. So we measure success and accomplishments in a couple of different ways.
And we just saw some pictures on our screen that go way back to when the late Floyd Adams was mayor, and the ribbon cutting ceremony that you had back then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's talk about something that you said, Victoria. You said that this anniversary milestone is more than a celebration of the agency's past. What do you mean by that?
Well, for our legacy, again, we've had our founders are the real true reason why we are still in existence to today, overcoming all the obstacles and the challenges that came about running an organization as a nonprofit. And there's a technicality in it as well, because you have to have expertise to do lending, and have the heart and the passion to kind of do a lot of hand holding for a lot of businesses as they're channeling through the processes of ownership, business ownership, whether they're starting or they're expanding. So we definitely wanted to hone in on all of the great accomplishments that were done and made, and then continue to pave the way going forward so that we continue to help the success of these small businesses.
Okay, so now let's talk about the big campaign, okay, that you have going on now through September?
Absolutely, okay. Yes. So we just launched a Giveback Campaign, just something different that the organization hasn't had the opportunity to do, and we wanted for those who want to contribute back. There wasn't really any way to do that financially, but there are several other ways, and we just wanted to kind of showcase that opportunity for folks to celebrate with us, kind of our birthday. And so there are 6 different ways. One way could be to attend some of our events that we host, but a lot of educational. They're always free. We try to do it at lunchtime, so we offer you a lunch. So just attending an event, inviting us to speak, to learn more about our loan, our resources, a lot of things that we do people don't know. So just getting us in the room to be able to explain that. And then a financial contribution, again, our first time really putting this out and asking for community input or contribution of $35. So we do have a goal of about $35,000. And with every contribution, as you saw, we actually created a self-published book from our 3 founders when they all retired about 2 years ago. And so a lot of rich history is in this book, and then being able to offer that to those who are able to give us a donation.
Right, and that money goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Yes, and the other ways you can contribute is to apply for a loan. Obviously, our online portal is up and running 24/7, and it's we like to say we're high tech and high touch at the same time. Yes. When you apply or inquire, you will actually talk to an actual loan officer on Liberty Street. That's where we are. We're one of the very few economic economic developers that keep everything in-house, from the origination to the closing to the servicing of that loan, and even technical assistance. So we're very proud of that. And then refer someone to us, whether if you're a CPA, you know, you're looking for to help your client expand, or maybe you're just going to a soccer game and you're watching your kids or your grandkids, and you hear somebody saying, "I'd like to start a small business or buy a business." You know, get our name out there, that sort of thing. And so yeah, we have lots of different ways to give back, and our referring partners are very important to us. So the banks and the credit unions out there, do not take the place of the banks. The banking relationships, very, very important to keep. But we are an alternative lender to help fill that gap. So many of our loan programs are actually in conjunction with the banks in town and the relationships that we've honed over the years. We have very good relationships to make sure that everybody's needs are being met, even if it's a tiny little bakery or a large manufacturer. There's no telling what we're working on in one day.
Okay, Victoria, Wendy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And here's the information on your screen. If you'd like to find out more, visit our website, wsav.com/SBAC35. Stay with us. We'll be right back.